All right, Ashley, thank you so much. Let's take a live look over in Mount Clemens this morning. If you're looking to get that walk in before work, first of all, bring the umbrella and a rain jacket. But it turns out you don't need to get as many steps as you might have previously thought. A recent study suggests 7,000 is the new 10,000 when it comes to your step count. 7,000 steps, or around 3 miles, can give you a boost in health benefits like lowering your risk of heart disease and dementia. Experts also say it's not just about how many steps you take, but how you walk. Try adding some hills, stairs, or picking up the pace to get even more benefits. So joining us to explain why 10,000 is out, 7,000 is in, Dr. Dennis Kerrigan. He's a senior clinical exercise physiologist for Henry Ford Health. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so why the change? Why are we going from 7,000 to 10, or from 10 to 7,000?
Well, I mean, 10,000 steps has really been an arbitrary number. I mean,
we just picked it.
I mean, it looks good on your Fitbit, right? And as I tell my patients, there's nothing magical about 10,000 steps. We know that, any kind of activity is good for us. So if you go from 2,000 steps to 4,000 steps, you're going to see a bump in your health. Kind of where we start to level off, though, is around 7,000. Oh. So, but that's actually equivalent to what we see in terms of the public health guidelines of doing 30 minutes every day.
Okay.
So that's kind of the equivalent of 7,000 steps.
Gotcha. We talked earlier that I have seen some stories and some studies suggesting something similar over the past year and several months, but this kind of takes everything into account and really says, yeah, this is real?
Yeah, well, this takes a whole bunch of studies together, so it gives you more power to look at things like dementia, like heart disease and cancer.
Okay.
And certainly there's some nuance to when we look at, do you get more benefit from more steps when it comes to weight loss? Possibly, yeah. But like I said, you start to get diminishing returns. And so nothing to take away for someone who's doing 10,000 steps.
Sure.
That's fantastic.
Right.
If you can do more, that's great. But again, it's not something that, you're not going to get any benefits if you're doing 8,000. Of course you will. So,
gotcha. Okay. My next question was, is there the next threshold? So 7 to 10,000, not that big of a deal, but say we jump up to 20,000, is that like the next benchmark, or do we not know?
Well, the problem when we start to look at individuals who have that many steps is there's not that many individuals with that. So I think from a research standpoint, it's challenging to be able to discern that part of it.
Right. Okay. So my understanding, and you're the doctor, I'm not, is that it's less about the steps and more about the quality of the steps. Is that fair?
Well, we don't want to forget about the aspect of intensity or cadence of steps. And so so we know that, doing it more of a brisk walk can give you some benefits that, doing a slow walk can't. So we definitely want to encourage that a couple days a week that individuals are trying to push themselves a little bit, at least to the point where they're feeling their heart rate go up, their breathing go
Sure,
up.
sure.
So where you can really see those cardiovascular benefits and improve your fitness.
So what is it about? Because I always hear that some of the best exercise is just getting out and walking, just starting to do that. Why is it that simple thing is kind of that gateway into better health?
Well, I think it's accessible to most of us, right? And yeah, when you look at things like, individuals who are able to lose weight and keep it off, more than 75% of those individuals choose walking as their main form of exercise.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. I've also heard that sometimes adding things into that walk, whether it be some weights that you're holding or swinging your arms or weighted backpacks are kind of a big trend right now. What are your thoughts on some of those add-ons?
Well, I do caution my patients sometimes with some of these trends because you want to be careful it's not going to affect your gait where, it could cause an injury or anything
Sure,
like that. Also, when we talk about getting 10,000 steps, that doesn't include doing strength training, which is another important component that's going to improve your bones, your metabolism, other aspects that you don't get with walking.
Gotcha. Okay, so kind of going back to what you said earlier about the intensity of the walk, how do you know when it's enough for exercise versus just kind of strolling down the path?
Well, a good rule of thumb is what's called the talk test.
Okay.
So if you're trying to exercise and you can't have a conversation with the person next to you, especially if you're just starting off, you're probably pushing yourself a little bit too much. You want to back off a little bit so you can still be able to talk while you're exercising.
Got it. Okay. Dr. Kerrigan, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for
I'm
having
losing
me.
my voice as we talk to you, but I'm not even moving. All right. Thank you much.
All right. Thanks.